YouTube. Today we will be working on a 2002 Ford Expedition. However, this process is applicable to the 1997 through early 2003 F150s, as well as 1998 through 2002 Ford Expeditions. Today we're going to be performing a thermostat replacement. The parts you will need today are a thermostat, part number 13779, and a water outlet gasket, part number 35489. These are both at CarQuest and Advance Auto. I highly recommend them. You'll also need a 8mm socket, as well as a 10mm socket, a 3/8 to 1/4 inch drive adapter, and a couple extensions, as well as your ratchet. We will be loosening this bolt, as well as this bolt right there. That can be done by the use of a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm socket. I prefer the socket because it's a lot easier. Now, got my camera up there for you guys, and lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. I'm sure, as you know, if you don't know that, I would recommend contacting a professional instead of doing it yourself. There's 2 bolts removed. Pull out this tab. This tab has a, this pigtail has a tab. You press on the tab, you push it towards the mass airflow sensor, and you pull it out. Like that. So you push, you pull this way towards the front of the car, and then you pull towards the passenger compartment of the car. Next, we'll be removing this. It's just done by that. You just pull it out, and then your PCV valve elbow is just removed by yanking on it. Be careful, because these get brittle and they might break. It's only $6 for a replacement though. Then you pull this out from the intake box. There we go. And then you pull this back, and that's removed. Set this aside for later. Now that you have this removed, we have basically unimpeded access. There is your temperature outlet housing, and basically you need to remove your power steering bracket, which is held in by 3 8mm bolts, one there, and one behind these cables right there. Not sure if you guys can see it, but it's right there. You'll be able to see it once you get under the hood. Anyways, be sure to work on your engine when the coolant is not scorching hot. If you touch it and it hurts, leave it. Come back at a later time. Okay? So these are 2, 3, 8mm bolts that you'll need to remove. I like to start with this one. Get the camera out of my face. Now we're going to be removing the 10mm bolts, securing in the temperature thermostat housing. And of course, forgot to mention, guys, pull that off, set it aside. Now we have unimpeded access to these 2 bolts right here. They're 10mm bolts. The temperature thermometer housing. It's done by simply lifting up. That's just your coolant coming out, or in my case water, because I'm doing a coolant flush at this very moment. Now, take care of your thermostat. Oh, that's burning. Okay. Anyways, take care of the way your thermostat was oriented when you took it out. As you can see, this is facing down. We're going to replace the seal so that it doesn't leak. You don't want this to leak. Now, with the new thermometer in place, along with the O-ring, place it in there. Put down your O-ring. Doesn't fit, that's okay. You don't really want it to be too small. And now get your temperature thermometer housing and put it back on. By the way, if it's stuck on, like mine was, you can always take a chisel to it and chisel the wings of the bolts. So like right here, get a chisel in there and hit it with a hammer. And I'm going to tighten these both up. They're the factory spec torque spec is 15 to 20 foot-pounds. So as much as you can do with a regular ratchet. Grab your mass airflow sensor. While you're at it, if you have some mass airflow sensor cleaner, you may as well use it. Take it. That's your mass airflow sensor. Don't ever touch it. Take it. Spray it. Spray it. Spray it. It'll gain you 4 to 10 horsepower. No, it won't. If you want to, you could clean these things. We're not going to do that. This isn't a show. I'm not taking this part of any shows or anything, so it really doesn't matter. Next, tighten up this right here. Don't make it too tight. It's plastic. It will break. You know what? It will break, so be careful. Plastic gets brittle as it gets old. Now you take your PCV valve and replace it. This elbow gets very brittle and it will break, trust me. These are only $5 at your local auto CarQuest though, so you get a pack of 2. What a deal. Okay, now replace this elbow. Make sure that they go all the way down to the base so that you don't get any leaks, and then with your butterfly valve or your throttle body, you take it from the bottom, you angle it from the bottom, and then you work your way up to get that in there. Once that's in there, feel around it. Yep, it's a good seal. Now you take this and you tighten it. Thank you for watching my instructional video on how to change a thermometer in your cooling system on a 2002 Expedition. Leave a like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching.